Hi ළමයි happy new year. කො කට්ටිය ගියොම් බං නැද්ද? Hi.
Happy New Year, sir.
happy new year. So අනිත් කට්ටිය සද්ද නැහැ. කවුද ඒ කතා කරේ? Who spoke at this time? Hello. Who said that?
Yes, sir.
Zarina. Only Zarina. Thank you, Zarina. අනිත් කට්ටිය සද්ද නැහැ. So after new year it should be a very refreshing start, right? Very fresh start, but I'm going to kind of like finish everything related to work, energy, and power today, right? Work, energy, and power, and unfortunately, most of the students seem like they have forgotten that class. Class එකක් තියෙනවා කියලාත් මතක නැද්ද ගොඩ කට්ටියට? මොකද ගිය හැටි පොඩි නිවාඩුවක් ගත්තානේ. We took like one day off in the last week, so that was the majority vote to skip the class for today and sorry, last week and joining in today. Here we have finished so far huge amount. So there are some classes they have just skipped. Their trend is like this way. We have to firstly do units and dimensions. After that, instruments. After that, vectors. Then motion. After motion, we directly have to go for equilibrium of forces. Then Newton's laws of motions. After that, work, energy, and power. This is the real order. Without this order, people actually can't coin up with the lessons. Again, හරියට ගන්න match up කරගෙන යන්න බෑ. But I have seen some of the guys just do something like this. Mostly, they just do bypass after motion, straight away go for circular motion. Because that's easy. Because these concepts are kind of little bit tough. As you can remember so far in physics, like mechanics, you learn like equilibrium of forces, Newton's laws of forces, and the work, energy, and power were kind of tough. ටිකක් අමාරුයි. එහෙම නේද? It was like kind of tough. So here this is going to be, they normally skip this one and go for circular motion. Then don't teach rotational motion. Somebody just teach rotational. Then it is going to be a very big problem. Why? They teach rotational motion without having basic concepts of what equations of equilibrium, Newton's law, and Newton law, and between equilibrium and Newton law of conservation of momentum is also there. Without these parts, if you just do these things, it's going to be like a suicidal. But that's how it is going to be in most of the places, because they take more time to come to this part. But in my classes, I just follow the order, let you practice, because if you don't practice these things and directly go for rotational law, circular motion, you won't be able to do it really well. On the niyama වැඩ කියන එක නම් ඔය ඔය ටික කොහෙන් හරි හොයලා අරගෙනත් කරනවා. But for the regularly, so we have actually successfully covered all these lessons in the order. Nothing is out of the order. Completely in the order. In the order means you have to learn these things thoroughly to do the next steps. So we have spent like the most important step in this entire mechanics lesson. Entirely the bigger mechanics lesson, we have completely done this part. What? Law of conservation of energy, especially whole energy, work, energy, and power lesson. So now, technically, our next lesson is supposed to be circular motion. Today it is not the day, because we have to cover the law of conservation of energy very tightly. We have to finish it completely. The law of conservation of energy. Law of conservation of energy. So we have theoretically done. Today we are going to do like practicing more questions and getting that lesson completely, thoroughly finished and done. හරි නේද? මම බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා ඔයාලා ඒ ටික හරියට කරයි කියලා. එහෙම නේද ළමයි? Say yes. Hi. Today I am going to teach you one very important thing, very simple thing even. I can't remember whether we did power under specific topic. Did we do the power under specific topic? Power කියලා වෙන topic එකක් කරාද? Yes or no? Because we are doing the class after 2 weeks. කියන්න බෑ? Hello. මට පොඩ්ඩක් මතක නැහැ ගිය සතියේ කලින් සතිය අපි power කතන්දරේ කරාද කියලා. Can anybody tell me whether we did power under specific topic? We did somewhat about power. කියන්න බෑ? ළමයි worksheet එක දැකලා බය වෙලාද දන්නෙත් නෑ මං ගිය සතියේ එව්වනේ worksheet එක. I sent you a certain worksheet to do in the home. So only Supipi did it and others didn't. බය වුණාද ඒක දැකලා? You guys got afraid after seeing that? ඔව් නම් ඔව් කියන්න නැත්තම් නෑ කියන්න. Huh? You got afraid after seeing that big worksheet? ඔව්ද නැද්ද? Good girl. අද ලියන්න ලොකු ටොපික් එකක් මතක නැහැ කීපෙදිම පව වලට අත තිබ්බද නැද්ද කියලා මතක නැහැ. ළමයි කියන්නකෝ අපි පවර් කියන ටොපික් එකට වෙනම ස්පෙસિෆිකලි අත තිබ්බද? Okay. Now right, I remember like we did, but I can't completely remember what we did or not. So write the topic. Bit on power. So up to what extent did I give you the very basic definition of power and the basic equations of power and so on? මට මතකයි අන්තිම විනාඩි කිහිපෙදි power කරා කියලා. If it was last week, no, memory could be really perfectly in my peak because of the Sinhalese New Year. Rate of change of work. Very good. Efficiency. Very good. Efficiency karla. Hari elagiri. Then we have done the very basics of power. Now right, power of an object which is moving under uniform velocity. Moving under uniform velocity under a certain constant force. Having a mass of m, when you apply a force of F, it would get just kind of accelerated like in this manner, F. Okay. If the distance it takes is like t, d, and the starting time equals to 0, and the time for it to finish like T. So how it is going to be? I want to find out the power. So one thing I know, when I just drag something using a force of F along a distance of D, there is an amount of work done. So according to the definition, what is power? Power equals to amount of work over time taken. So as you know that there is a force of F and the displacement of D, so the work done is going to be F into D, that you can easily substitute it over here. So the power equation becomes F D over T, F D over T. So the power is F D over T. What is this D over T? Displacement over time. Can anybody tell me what is it? Hello? That is the velocity. That is the velocity factor. So power is equals to F into V. Write this down. Such an important equation. Very important to know. Done. Okay, great. Copy and finish it. How about whether you are having an exams in this week or upcoming week or something? May 22nd. Pause. Yeah. Okay. 130th. මට හිතෙන්නේ ගොඩක් කට්ටිය මේ April 30th, sorry. මට හිතෙන්නේ ගොඩක් අය එක්සෑම් එකට පාඩම් කරනවා. ඉතින් අනේ මන්ද ඉතින් එක්සෑම් එකට පාඩම් කරන එක හොඳයි. හැබැයි ක්ලාස් එකක් මිස් කරලා මේ ගණන් ටික හදන විදිය හරියට දන්නේ නැතුව එක්සෑම් එකකට පාඩම් කරන එක හරි මොඩ වැඩක්. අද මම ලොකු questions ගොඩක් ක්ලාස් කරා. හරියට නිකන් පේපර් ක්ලාස් එකක් වගේ අද දවසේ ඔක්කොම first lesson එකේ ඉඳන්ම revise කරන්න. I plan to revise all from the first lesson. And I just changed the whole tute taking last week, including more questions, removing more theory. අනවශ්‍ය theory ටික අහක් කරලා වැඩිපුර questions ටිකක් enter කරලා මොනවාද print කරන්න දුන්නා tute එක වෙනස් කරලා. ඒක තමයි ඔයාලට දැම්මේ print version. So that is the one you will receive by this week. ඒ කියන්නේ ඔයාලගේ තියෙන level එක මම දැනගෙන ළමයි tutes ටික හදන්නේ. මම මුලින්ම මම කියවනේ I normally don't distribute the tute beforehand because I normally study you majority pattern. What are the areas you normally struggle? මම ඔයාලගේ මම කිව්වා in all the classes I note down about your weaknesses, about your strengths, mostly misunderstood area and everything. මොකද මේ දේවල් ටික හරියට මාක් කරේ නැත්නම් හරි අමාරුයි. I normally mark all of these area. හැම දෙයක්ම මාක් කරලා perfectly finalize කරලා තමයි ළමයි ඔයාලට දෙන්නේ. So during past 4 to 5 weeks I marked everything. What were your strengths, what were your weaknesses, what areas you couldn't understand. ඒතකොට theoretical වැඩියෙන් කරන්න ඕන තැන් ටික explain කරනවා. So most of the time if one student just struggle somewhere, I just include the one question at least from there. So හැම තැනින්ම ඔයාලා වැඩිපුරම අනාගත තැන් ටිකට ගැලපෙන්න තමයි ප්‍රශ්න දාලා තියෙන්නේ. හරි. ඒ වැඩේ මට beforehand කරන්න බෑ. මම හැමතිස්සෙම කියනවනේ. මම එකයි ඔයාලගේ lesson එක ඉවර වුණාට පස්සේ questions practice කරන්න ඕනේ. lesson එකට කලින් නෙමෙයි. lesson එකට ඉවර වුණාට පස්සේ you have to just continue with questions, right? Otherwise you will forget. අන්න ඒකට ඔයාලා වැඩියෙන්ම අනාගත තැන් ටික හරියට එව්වොත් නේද හරියන්නේ. නැත්නම් tute එක beforehand එවන්න කිසි ප්‍රශ්නයක් නැහැ. මම හැමතිස්සෙම මම ඔයාලට කියනවනේ. I send you the tute once the lesson is wind up. හේතුව tute එක ඇත්තටම ඕන වෙන්නේ ඒ වෙලාවට. You need the tute at that moment. තේරුණාද? ඒක තමයි effective. ඉතින් අර ළමයි කැමතිද නැද්ද කියන මම දන්නේ නැහැ. ඒක තමයි effective. but beforehand මට මේ ක්ලාස් එකේ තියෙන ළමයින්ගේ mentality එකට ගිය අවුරුදු වල mentality එක මට tally කරන්න බෑ. different students, different skills, different way of thinking, different way of mistakes. So for these mistakes I have to include some suitable questions. දැන් ඔය spring එහෙම සමහරව හොඳට නාලා තිබුණා. ඔකත් එක්ක momentum set කරපුවා. ඉතින් වැඩිපුර ඒ හරියෙන් දාන්න වුණා. So incline plane එකලත් චූටි අවුලක් තිබුණා ඒක දැම්මා. friction එහෙම හොඳට ටිකක් අවුල් friction වලින් ඔය ඔක්කොම set කරලා වැඩිපුර දැම්මා. ඉතින් ඒ දේ කරන්න බෑ ළමයි මට beforehand. හරිනේ? Okay. Now this is all about it. For the power should be equals to what? Force multiplied by velocity. Force multiplied by velocity. Right. Okay. අපි කොහොමම questions ටික කරන්න යන්න. Shall we directly go for discussion of the questions? නේද? වෙලාව නාස්ති කරන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. දැන් theoretically හැමදේම මම කියලා දීලා ඉවරයි. All the theoretical things you need is completely done over here. Now only thing is we have to practice all questions right from the first lesson. That means units and dimension, vectors, motion, Newton's laws, momentum, and everything all together. On the practice because in the next week we are going to start our new lesson, brand new lesson, circular motion. Circular motion. So to start circular motion, we have to finish this lesson completely and thoroughly. Then we can happily start the new lesson, circular motion, in the next week. Hari. අපි යමු ළමයි බෝඩ් එකට වැඩේ පටන් because this one includes somewhere like 25 MCQs, and if you really want to me to discuss the midweek worksheet that I provided you in the last week, we can also discuss that one if you really like, if you really want. We can discuss the midweek worksheet. මෙතනින් පටන් ගන්නද midweek එකෙන් කරලා ගන්නද, whatever you decide we can start up with. In the last week midweek, if you feel like the midweek is better to start up with, we can just discuss the midweek worksheet or start to do this question tute. So there is nothing to teach this week, but it was we have to brush up all the knowledge what we have thoroughly. හරියට තියෙන විදියට knowledge එක rearrange කරගන්න තමයි තියෙන්නේ. කියන්න බං. ඉක්මනට කියන්න. We don't have time to waste. If you really want me to do like the discussion of shall we start up with this one and go for midweek worksheet? So one said like midweek. අනිත් කාර්යයන් මොකද කියන බලන්න දෙන්නේ words දැම්මා. One said like directly midweek worksheet. One said like do this one and go for the midweek worksheet. So others Tamanta hitana එක කියන්න ඩක් ගාලා වෙලාව නැහැ. We just have to start whatever. Someone said this one. Others 2 votes so far for the this one. Hello. Okay. Hari. Another one said, let's do this one and go for the midweek. Okay, this one. Everybody says this one mostly. Let's discuss the midweek worksheet as well. Oh, it's really important to remember all of these earlier things as well. ළමයි මේවා හංගලා ඉගෙන ගන්න බෑ. සමහරු කැමති හංගලා උගන්නනවාට. ඉතින් කවදාරි ඔයාලට වන්දි ගවන්න වෙනවා. So let's do the first 5 MCQs. I'll give you time for first 5 to about like 10 minutes, no more than that, because that's more than enough. Very simple questions this set. There are hard questions even, but here as the start, very simple ones. I am going to start the timer. Do the question number 1 to 5. Right? Question number from question number 1 to question number 5. Okay. I'm starting timer. Hari, I think you had enough time to do this. So the MCQ question, which is related to first unit, that is the units and dimension lesson. So also related to energy lesson as well, unit volume of energy. Unit volume of energy. What is the meaning of that? Energy over volume. So we can just write the base units of units. kg, m, s, and m square s minus 2 for energy, divide by volume means m to the power 3. So m and only one m remaining here. So the base unit becomes kg m minus 1 s minus 2. What is this look like? මේක නිකන් කවුරු වගේද? කවුරු වගේද මේක? එහෙම නැත්නම් ඔයාලට පුළුවන් තව විදියක්. Energy equals to force into distance. So we can take it like length. Volume is equals to length into breadth into height. Length and length cancel off. Breadth into height means area. Force over area. Another way to think. Grade 10 knowledge. So this is in both of these ways stands for pressure. So the answer is going to be pressure. Okay. Number 2, the reaction force does not cancel the action force because they act on the same body. They act on the different line of action. No. We mark it like the action and the reaction is just happening on other body in the same line but in the opposite direction with the same magnitude. They do not act on the same body. If it is acting on the same body, then the action and reaction cancel off. But if it is action is acting on object A, the reaction is acting on the object B. So these are two bodies, so you can't cancel these two off. The answer is number 3. Now in the third one, the following reading X, Y, and Z have been taken using correctly selected instrument. Okay. කාල වැඩි වෙලා මහත් වෙලා. කට්ටිය දැන් හැපි නිව් ඉයර් එකට කාල වැඩි වෙලා මහත් වෙලාලු ඉන්නේ. Correctly. Centimeters. In terms of centimeters, so in the meter ruler, what is the minimum reading that can we take? Up to 1 millimeter. 1 millimeter means 0.1 centimeter is the minimum margin. So for the vernier caliper, we can go for another one step further, 1 centimeter. So for the vernier caliper, meter ruler, and for the micrometer screw gauge, 0.001 centimeter. And for the traveling mic as well, it's going to be 0.001, and as well as spirometer, that is also 0.001 centimeter. Now have a really good look at. That means this should definitely be a vernier caliper 1 and 2, definitely in the region. Okay, so you can measure something beyond 1 centimeter, and also the range for the vernier caliper 1 to 10 centimeter. Here micrometer screw gauge 0.1 to 1 centimeter, all of these. So both of these are tallying with that one. Next one is 2.433. It can be either spirometer or micrometer screw gauge. Third one, 0.35 cm. So yeah, mostly this is suitable with micrometer screw gauge, because why? For this type of very thin things, we can't use the spirometer because it is too thin, right? Because we have to balance it with the legs. But for the micrometer screw gauge, we have like a thing called mechanism to identify once it get contact. So the first answer is really tallying with all the physical properties as well. The first answer is the one. Now in the fourth one, an object starting from rest moves first 50 meter at constant acceleration, next 200 with uniform velocity, and finally comes to rest after traveling further 30 meter with constant deceleration. The total time taken for the journey is 30 seconds. Right. The maximum velocity attained by the object. Okay, so we have to know first thing, it has just moved first 50 meter. 50 meter under some acceleration. U be equal 0 to certain value. Then under that value to another 200 meter. From there onward, you are going to finish it for the last 30 meter. And finally, it also comes to 0. Until this, it's going to be the V velocity. These are the things what I have. Right. You don't know the acceleration here. all together it is 30 seconds. Right. Here it is. For the first part, you can go along with S equals to U plus V over 2 times T1. So 0 plus V over 2 times T1 for the first 50. Then plus this one, you can go for other part. What is it? V times T2, that part. And again, V plus 0 over 2 times T3. But the thing is, you don't know any of these T or V, anything. One thing I know is that I can remove certain unknown factors from here. How? I can get the T1 from here. What is T1? T1 is equals to distance over velocity. What is my distance here? Distance is 50, no? 50 over V1. V is equals to T1. I can leave it. Now the next part is 200 is equals to V. Oh, shit. No, one thing is missing here. V1, it is going to be 100 because it's multiplication. 100 over V, 200 over T2. So T2 is going to be V over 200. V over 200. Then for the final part, what is my final part? Here we also know 30 is equals to T3. What is my T3? Sorry, it's going to be V over 2 times T3. So T3 is going to be 60 over V. 60 over V. No, I made a big mistake here. I have made a big mistake here. 200 is equals to V T2. T2 is equals to 200 over V. Number 2, number 3. And here it is like number 1. Right. So you know 30 is equals to T1 plus T2 plus T3. Now I have all the values of T in terms of V. 30 is equals to the first part 100 over V plus second part 200 over V plus 60 over V. So altogether we get like a value here. 30 is equals to V is a common denominator, 360. So V is equals to 360 over 30. So finally I get velocity, maximum velocity as 12 meters per second. One of a very important question to increase your brain capacity. So the answer is going to be the fifth one. මට ඩග්ගාලා මෙසේජ් එකක් දාන්න මේක හරියට හදාගත්තා අය. Without guessing if you did properly. Is there anybody who did this one properly? ඩග්ගාලා දාන්න මෙසේජ් එකක් වුණා නම් නැත්තම් නෑ. No, sir, couldn't. Okay, very good. No, okay, no, okay. දැන් ළමයි අපි එක්සෑම් වලට එන දේවල් මේ වගේ කියලා දැනගෙන ඉන්න එක හොඳයි නේද? ඔයා හංගල දෙනවට වඩා මම ආස නැහැ එහෙම හංගල කරන්න. I hope you understand. So if you want to take a note, very simple. Exam questions ඔහොම එනවා නම් අපි ඒක ready වෙලා ගියේ නැත්නම් මොකද වෙන්නේ කියලා තේරෙනවනේ. As I told you that I am teaching in a girls college nowadays, no? So most of them are just going to the very popular dude, like almost like 180 students in a class. But the thing is, මේ වගේ වහමක් නැහැ කියමුකෝ. I just gave you them a question like giving a height of like height, and I just ask what is the time it takes to reach, and I just ask what is the velocity to reach. They couldn't. That is the level because they just never get the chance to do the questions, only the sir do. Yeah. මන්න ඉතින් ඔය ළමයි කොච්චර නහයෙන් ඇඩුවත් ඒක කරනවා. නැත්නම් ඉතින් එක්සෑම් එකට ගිහලා අනන්න වෙනවා හූතියදී. හරි. The fifth one, free trolleys are free to move on a frictionless horizontal track. A trolley A has a mass of 2m and an initial speed of 2v to the right. Okay. Trolley B has the mass of an initial velocity v to the left. Okay. Trolley C has a mass of m and originally at rest. All collisions are perfectly elastic. Perfectly elastic means what? They don't dissipate energy, kinetic energy. The kinetic energy is constant. That's what they say. First of all, I want to go for the law of conservation of momentum. Here, this is a vector P1 and this is P2. So they say like the velocity and center of mass of the system 3 trolleys after the last collision. That means they collide together and line with together. So for this part, P is going to be 2m times 2v minus these two together, m times v. So the 3mv will be the remainder. These two join up and move it like 3mv to the right. Okay, 3mv to the right. And link with this one together in the second collision, 3mv is equals to 4mv dash. So I have to cancel m out of it. V dash is equals to 3v over 4. Answer is this one. හරි ලේසි ඒකේ උත්තර ටික ගන්න. ලොකු අවුලක් නැති ලේසි ප්‍රශ්නයක්. හරිනේ? I hope you guys understand it. Wait. Okay, in the next set, let's do the next 5 questions. It will take maximum of like 10 minutes from here. විනාඩි 10 10 අරගෙන මේ ප්‍රශ්න 25ම කරමු. විනාඩි 50ක් යයි ඔයාලට කරන්න. මට එක්ස්ප්ලেইন කරන්න තව 50ක් යයි. වෙලාව ඉතුරුත් වෙයි. Okay, your timer starts. Six to 10. Question number 6 to 10. Hari lamai. So we have to do this one. And by the way, මට පොඩි විස්තරයක් දැනගන්න ඕනේ ළමයි මේ මම ක්ලාස් එක කරනවා ස්පීඩ් වැඩිද ඔයාලට? මොකද ඔයාලා ස්ලෝ නම් මං හයියෙන් කරලා වැඩක් නැහැ නේ නේ. ඔයාලා ගොඩක් ස්ලෝ නම් මම සිලබස් එක ඉවර කරන්න මට උවමනා තිබුණාට ඔයාලට උවමනා නැත්නම් if you don't want to get the syllabus to be done within the time frame, why would I care? So ඕන් නැහැ වගේ නම් සිලබස් එක වෙලාවට ඉවර කරගන්න අන්තිමට රෙකෝඩින් එක පිට දීලා ලෙසන්ස් ටික ඉවර කරන්න හැමෝම කරන්නේ ඔක තමයි ඔය ස්ලෝ සෙට් එක. මම කියන්නේ බොරු නම් කරපු අයියලා අක්කලාගෙන් අහලා බලන්න. If this is the syllabus level, we have only done if to this much yet. මම කරලා තියෙන්නේ මෙච්චරයි අයියා. Even me. Because other idiots are just doing very slowly. I have no other option than slow me down. නැත්තම් හරනම් මේ හරියටවත් කරලා තියෙන්න ඕන. But unfortunately all the other idiots are doing very slowly. But in generally others are like this much. මෙන්න මේ හරිය තමයි. ඒ කියන්නේ ඉස්සරහට ගිහිල්ලා වගේ පෙන්නන්න අර මැදින් ලෙසන්ස් ටිකක් ස්කිප් කරලා පයින්නවා. අහුවත් කියන්නේ circular motion කරන්නේ. What is the lesson? Circular motion. Rotational motion, but they have skipped Newton's law. ඔක තමයි කරන්නේ. හරි. හරි නම් අපි මෙතනවත් ඉන්න ඕන. Right? Within like 1 year and 5 to 6 months, we have to cover all this. මතක තියාගන්න. දැන් මම මේ ස්පීඩ් එකත් වැඩි කියලා ළමයින්ට හිතෙනවා නම් මම ස්ලෝ කරලා දෙන්නම්. මොකද ඔයාලා කියන්නේ ස්ලෝ කරන්නද මේ ගන්නට යන්න. ඔයාලට ස්ලෝ කරන්න. මොකද මේ කියන්න බලන්න මොකද්ද වෙන්න ඕනේ කියලා. What is your opinion? To me to slow down? Slow or continue with this? හරිද? මොකද මේ එළිය එහෙම දේවල් වෙනවා. ටිකක් ස්පීඩ් අප් කරන්න. ඔයාලා ඉතින් ස්පීඩ් කරන තරමට කැමතියි. මමත් හරි කැමතියි ළමයා. මමත් හරිම කැමතියි මේක ස්පීඩ් කරන්න. නමුත් අර එළියේ ඉන්න බූරුව ටික හිමීට කරන නිසා මට හයියෙන් කරන්න බෑ. කරොත් එහෙම ළමයින්ට ඒක ලොකු ප්‍රශ්නයක්. අරනම් මේ වෙද්දී අපි වේව්ස් වල වගේ හිටියනම් මරු වේව්ස් වල ඉවර වෙන කිට්ටුව. එහෙම තමයි before covid classes ගියේ. before covid මේ තරම් විතර level එකකට කරලා මේ. but after covid everything upside down. එහෙම කේසයක් තියෙනවා. සර් මේ නිව්ටන් මේ හරිය පොඩ්ඩක් අහුවෙන්නව නැහැ. ඒ නිසා මම ක්ලාස් එකකට ගියා. ඒකේ තවම යන්නේ මොනවාද මේ ෆ්‍රික්ෂන් එහෙම යන්තම් පටන් ගත්තා විතරයි ඒ ටික කවර් කරගෙන යනවා. එහෙම කියන ඉඩියට්ලා ඉන්නවා. මට තේරෙන්නේ නැහැ මුන් මේ මොන හරක්ද බද්ද කන්නේ තනකොළද කියලා. මෙච්චර තව ස්ලෝ එකේ යද්දී මෙන්න මේ හරියට විතර එනකොට අවුරුදු 2 ඉවරයි යා. You have only like 3 months then within 3 months have to cover everything. What do they do is පැය 6 විතර රෙකෝඩින් දෙනවා හෙන ගොඩක්. උඹලා පුළුවන් නම් බලලා ගිහලා ලියපියව කියලා. බලත් එහෙම කරගන්න ආසයි නම් අවුලක් නෑ මම ස්ලෝ කරලා කරන්න. නමුත් ඉතින් මගේ නම් ක්‍රමේ in the real class I have to finish the syllabus. We recording දදා නෙමෙයි. ඔය live බලන්න බෑ recording බලන්න බෑ කියන අයියලාට වෙන්නේ අන්තිමට අර හිමීට යන එකෙක් ගාවට ගිහිල්ලා අන්තිම මාස 3 විතර බුදු අම්මෝ අර ඉලෙක්ට්‍රොනික්ස් matter and radiation ඊළඟට මේ electricity and magnetism ඔය ඔක්කොම අමාරුම lesson set එකම දෙයියන්ගේ පීටයි recording බලන්න වෙනවා 150ක් විතර. මාරු ඉතින් ඒ මොනවා. හරි. ළමයි සාමාන්‍යයෙන් රියලිස්ටි එක තේරුම් ගන්න ආස නැහැ. යාලා ආස මේ මිත් එක ඇඟට අරගෙන ඒක ජීවත් වෙන්න. ඒකයි කර්මය කියන්නේ. What is the maximum value of force that such that the block shown in the figure does not move? The coefficient of friction between the block and the surface is 0.5. Okay. So it is marked here. M එක දාලා නැහැ නේ පොඩි අවුලක් තියෙනවා. හරි. Forget about M. M massless කියලා හිතාගෙන තමයි ගාන හදන්නේ. So certain F, this will be the R reaction. So the force is to here with an angle of 45. Here also 45. So you can take it like F cos 45. Doesn't matter because 45 is common. F sin 45. So mu R is mu F cos 45 should be equals to F sin 45. 0.5 F is something I don't know. And cos 45 is 1 over root 2 equals to F sin 45. මේක හදන්න බෑ ළමයි මේ මෑත්ස් එක නැතුව ගියම ඔක්කොම කැපිලා යනවා. So here it should be come up with mg as well. So නැත්තම් මේක කැපිලා යනවා ලොකු අවුලක් වෙනවා. Without m can't do. So there is a problem with the question. ඒකෙන් මොකක් හරි මගේ අතින් මිස් වෙලා මෑත්ස් එක වැඩිලා නැහැ. Without maths can't do. The variation of amplitude of damped oscillation with mass m and time t given by the equation a equals to a naught e to the power at over m. Dimension of a. Who knows? One thing is known, what for the exponent, it is always going to be 1. A into time. So let me just go for capital T. M is for mass. So here M T minus 1 L0. There is no L. That is equals to here M T minus 1 L naught is the answer is this one. හරිනේ? අමතක වෙලා ඇති ඕවා මතක තියාගන්න. Whenever you see an exponent, that's it. X, Y, and Z are physical quantities with dimensions. 3 physical quantities X, Y, and Z are related to one another in terms of X equals to AY, B tan Z and Z, and constants ABC are constants. So which of the following pairs have to be no dimension? Okay. So X should be equals to A and Y. X should be equals to B. Because tan is something we don't want to care about. So X is equal to, that's it. So 1 equals to Z and Z. Z and Z. Okay. X and B, no dimension. Same dimension. When you divide, definitely X over B is not a dimension. Z and Z as a pair gives no dimension because that is the one. B over A will never. No, wait. Yeah. Pair together Y and Z. Okay. As a pair, C and Z. The next one, spectrometer, 29 parts of 1 degree of the main scale has divided into 30 parts of the vernier scale. Main scale divided into 30 parts of the vernier scale. What is the least count of the equipment? Right. So the main part is 1 minus half times what? 29 is the least count of this one. So it is mostly like what? So the 1 degree of the main scale divided into 30 parts of the vernier scale. Wait. No. Yeah. 1 over 30 parts of the main scale of 1 degree. So what is it? 1 over 30 means how many? 1 over 60 means what? 1 over 60 means 1 of this double dash. But 1 over 30 means twice of that. So the answer should be 2 of this. Okay? 2 of this. Now in the next one, 10th one, 2 kilogram. Okay. First of all, you have to write it like this order. Bottom ones should be put in the bottom. Minus means bottom. Seconds to convert to grams, centimeters to minutes. Okay. Gram to gram, you have to multiply it by 1000. Okay. Here, like kilograms to, meters to centimeters, you have to multiply it by 100. And seconds to minute means you have to divide this by 60. Right? This 60 comes up. That means you have to multiply it by 600. 2 by 600 is 1200. Very easy. Conversion factor is 600. You have to multiply the 600 by 2. Then it is 1200. Very simple thing. It's better to us to rememorize all of this. So let's quickly go for the next 5 questions and quickly rememorize all of these. ඔපේසනී මොකද පරක්කු වෙන්නේ දැන්? හැමදාම වගේ පරක්කු වෙනවා. වයි? ඔපේසනී, hello? Yeah, why you are getting late in this test? Even last week you got really late. Remember one thing in these theories, if you miss one point, then only you won't be able to catch up even all lesson. Especially in the next week, we are going to start off with a very new lesson called circular motion. ඉතින් ඔයාලා circular motion එක හරියට ඉගෙන ගන්න කැමති නම් මුල් ටික මිස් වුණොත් දෙයියන්ගේ පිහිටයි කිසි දෙයක් තේරෙන්නේ නැතු වෙයි. එහෙනම් 8 වෙද්දි හරියටම ඇවිල්ලා ඉන්න. කියන වැඩ ඔක්කොම මොන හරි ක්‍රමයකින් ඉවර කරලා just be punctual exactly on 8. හරි නේද ළමයි? Okay. The ratios between prefixes are given below. Which pair is equal? Okay. Centi to milli. That means 10 to the power minus 2 to minus 3. It is going to be the ratio is 10. Kilo to mu. Definitely not. Higher end to very low end. Definitely not. Yani oka divide කරලා බලන්න ඕනත් නැහැ. Why? Kilo means 1000. This is going to be 10 to the power minus 3 all together 10 to the power minus 6. Okay, බලන්න ඕනේ experience එකෙන් තේරෙයි. Pico to nano. So there is a difference of 1000. So you have to remember like milli, micro, nano, pico. Right? So pico to nano means there is a difference of what? 1000 minus 1000. Micro to kilo. Micro means minus 6. Kilo means plus 3. Though it is a billion times of difference. No. නිකන් ගාන හද හද බලන්න එපා ළමයි වෙලාව යනවා. Mega to giga, the difference is 1000. Centi to milli, difference is only 10. 1000 and 10 never going to match. Micro to centi. පොඩ්ඩක් හිතලා බලන්න වෙන වැඩක්. Micro means 10 to the power minus 6. Centi means 10 to the power minus 2. The difference is 10 to the power minus 4. හිතලා බලන්න ඕන තැනක්. Kilo to milli. No, nothing. Because this one is kilo to milli. Again, it's going to be having a 1 million difference. Not this one too. So pico to mu, pico to micro, million times. Milli to kilo, definitely million times. So the difference is, oh yeah, million times. Right? So Aramban 10 to the power minus 12 over 10 to the power minus 6. Difference is minus 6. Here it is like minus 3 over plus 3 plus 3 and minus 3 together minus 6. It will take long. මතක නැත්නම් මෙහෙම ලියන්න. Milli, micro, nano, pico. In the ascending order, kilo, mega, giga, tera. So now check. See? Centi to milli, only 10. Kilo to mu, udai yatai loku end ekaka difference ekak. It is like 1 million, not matching. Say that again. Pico to nano, see? 1000 times. Micro to kilo, million times, not matching. Mega to giga, only 1000 times. Centi to milli, again 10 times, not matching. This and this, okay, micro to centi, so it is like 10 to the power minus 4. This is again million times, not matching. Here, 10 to the power minus 6. This one is 10 to the power minus 6 again. Answer is that one. හරිනේ? කොහොම කරොත් අපතර 40කින් විතර උත්තරේ ගන්න හැකි. හිතන්න පුළුවන් වෙන්න ඕනේ you should have be able to compare these values very quickly and get the answer. Okay, now in the 12th one, say two men moving with speed 4 ms minus 1 and 3 ms minus 1 leaves from the same place and moves in directions perpendicular to each other along straight paths. When the displacement between them is 35 meter, the time spent in second is. You should know one thing, it is definitely what? Right angle triangle. ඒක නම් ඔළුවට දෙන්න ඕනේ. this is 35. Here it is like 3 times t. 3 times t. Here it is like 4 times t. Why? Why it is? Because velocity equals to displacement over time. Displacement equals to velocity into time. This is how we can approach with the answer. Now let me just go up with r square equals to p square plus q square. 35 square is equals to 4t square, 4t square plus 3t square. So 35 square is equals to 16t square plus 9t square, and altogether 35 square is equals to 25 and t square. Commonly you can get the factor t square out, 25. So t is equals to 35 to the power 2 over 25 to the power 2 and the root it. So that means only 35 over 25. So it's going to be, what is it? Wait. Yeah. 7 over 5. Mostly like 1.4 seconds. Double ගියේ 3 times t any displacement of x, any displacement of y, y equals to 4 times t, is 3 times t, 35 to the power 2 equals to oh shit, it is just 25, not 25 to the power 2. I made a big mistake in the previous calculation. I made a big mistake here. I took, oh shit, no. මෙතන 25 to the power 2 දාගත්තනේ. වැරදිලා. It is just 25. 25 and t to the power 2. My mistake, my bad. So t is equals to 35 square divided by 25, just 25. එතනයි මට වැරදුනේ. 35 over root is just 5. So t equals to what, 7, just 7 seconds. ලස්සනට එන උත්තරේ මේ මෙතන අමතක වෙලා ස්ක්වයර් එකක් දාගත්තා. Answer is a really straightforward answer there, 7. ඕක තනියෙන් හදපු කට්ටිය කවුද ඉන්නේ? Who did make it alone? කවුද තනියෙන් හැදුවේ? තනියෙන් උත්තරේ ගත්ත කට්ටිය කියන්නේ alone. You, wow, very good girl. Wow, very good girl. Another good girl. Sarina, Opesani, දෙන්නම මාරු. තව ඉන්නවද තනියෙන් ගත්ත සුපී කෙල්ලෝ? Today for this class, it's a very wonderful day because all the students here today are like girls. Hi, girls, come on. The next one is like the 13th one. A frequency f of vibration of a mass m suspended from a spring of force constant k is given by the relation f equals to cmx ky. The values of x and y are, okay, then you have to know one thing. Right, x and y are. So one thing we have to know, c is like a dimensionless one. Frequency, it is like t minus 1 is equals to m is the mass m x and ky. So here in the left hand side, yeah, in the left hand side, m equal to 0 and l equal to 0. So considering m 0 equals to m times x. So no, wait, k is like a I made a big mistake here. So k is like newtons per meter. No, newtons per meter means kg, sorry, m l t minus 2 times m minus 1. So altogether it is going to be, yeah, sorry, l m t minus 2 is the unit of this one, m t minus 2. So mx plus y, 0 equals to x plus y. You can't solve it. Now the next part is going to be compared to L. There is no L in here, so no need to check. Now we have to consider with time thingy. T for here, nothing. For the other one, minus 1 here. T minus 2y. So y, sorry, minus 1 equals to minus 2y. Y equals to half plus half. So I can just substitute that to here. Then it will be 0 equals to x plus half. X equals to minus half. So the answer is going to be x equals to minus half and y is equals to plus half. Only one answer representing that is the fourth one. Okay, two forces have the magnitude in the ratio of 3 to 5 and the angle between their direction is 60 degree. If their resultant is 35 Newton, their magnitudes are, okay. The resultant is what? P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos theta. Here it's going to be like R is like, what is it? 35 is equals to X times what? 3 square plus X times 5 square plus 2 times x squared times half, because cos 60 is half. I'm going to get like 35 is equals to x square 9 plus x square 5 plus x square 1, just 1 x square. So whole together 14, 9 and 5, no 25. So what 25 kita number. 35 x to the power 2. 9 and 5, 25, 34, 34 and 1, 35. X is equals to 35 over root 35. Right. So what is root 35? So I can write my search knowledge here. Search knowledge is root 35 times root 35 over root 35. Why did I make it? Because I can just multiply that by again and put 2 roots. O-level maths. So the X result is going to be 35 square root of 35. Square root of 35 is nearly equals to what? 6. 6 වලට. You can get this one because no harm, it is an MCQ. Now just multiply 3 times 3 times 6 is 18. පොඩි පෝස්ට් එක 18 තියෙන එකම එක්කෙනා මෙයා. අන්න අනිත් එකත් ගහලා බලන්න ඕන. 5 times 6 it is 30. Decimal ගණන් හිතන්න එපා. The reason is this nearly equals to 6. හරි නේද? ඔය දේවල් මතක් වුණ නැත්නම් අනේ root 35 කියන්නේ කීයද කී නටයි. Remember that the square root of 36 is 6. ළඟින් යන එකක් නේ බය නැතුව ගන්න. මේකේ කරපු maths ටික තේරුණාද? It's very important to understand this maths because it say have a good look at any magnitude of x in the ratio of 3 and 5. If you have like a rod here with the length of x, then you have like 3 of such x. 1x, 3x. The first one is 3x. The next one is 5 such x. Now you have to find out what is that x. When you find out that x, you have to substitute that x to here and find out the real ratio. ඕක තේරුම් නැති ළමයි කවුරු හරි ඉන්නවා නම් ටාර් ගාලා මගෙන් අහන්න. පොඩ්ඩයින්ද මම ඉන්න පොඩේ මම පොඩි මිස්ටේක් එකක් කරලා. Good observation. It is a very good observation. So x, it is not only by x, no. 3 and 5. 3x and 5x. 2 times 3x and 5x. So it's going to be 15x. I made a mistake. 35 is equals to 1 minute. 9x to the power 2. 25x to the power 2. Here it is like 15x to the power 2. Okay, you know. පොඩ්ඩක් ඉන්න. එතකොට 15 ගාපුවාම stuff is පොඩ ආන්සර් එක වෙනස් වෙනවා ළමයි. මගේ අතින් ඒක පොඩ්ඩක් මිස් වුණා. මේක x දෙකක් විතරක් දැම්මනේ. Good observation, that is 9 and 25, 34, 34 and 15, 49. අර සර්ච් කතන්දරේ ඕනේ නැහැ. 49 x to the power 2, x equals to 35 over 49 කියන්නේ 7. 7 කියන්නේ කැපිලා යනවා. It's going to be just 5. ආන්සර් එක තනිකර වෙනස් වෙනවා ළමයි. මගේ අතින් වෙච්ච ලොකු මිස්ටේක් එකක් අරක. Good observation. කවුද ඔබ්සර්ව් කරේ ඔපේෂන් නේද? Yeah. Good observation ඔපේෂන්. නැත්තම් එහෙම ගානම වරදිනවා. මගේ අතින් පොඩි මිස්ටේක් එකක් වුණා. 3 times 5 අමතක වෙලා ගිය නිසා. So it is going to be 5. Okay, 5 times 3 is, sorry, 3 times 5 is 15. Other one is 5 times 5 is 25. The pair is this one. මගේ අතින් ලොකු මිස්ටේක් එකක් වුණා. හරි නේද? මම මෙතන තේරිච්ච නැති අය ඉන්නවා නම් මම මුලින් ඉඳන් දාන්නම් ඒක. 2p කියුණෝ. 2 times p is 3x. Other one is 5x times half is the cos 60. Cancel off. 3 times 5 is 15x to the power 2 කියන එක ආවේ එතන. හරි නේද? It is completely my mistake. Completely mine. ඒකෙන් හැබැයි එක හොර පාරකුත් හොයාගත්තා. අර වගේ කේස් එකක් ආවොත් 35 වගේ එකක් root අර කරන්න ඕන ක්‍රමෙත් ආවා. ඉතින් ඒක නිසා හැම දෙයකම හොදක් තියෙනවා. Remember one thing, I made a mistake. Okay. 15. The speed of a train is reduced from 60 kilometers per hour to 15 kilometers per hour while it's travel in a distance of 450 meter. If the retardation is uniform, find out how much further will it travel becoming to rest. Okay, it is 60. Now you have to convert to 60 by 5 over 18. Make a කියලා දීලා හෙන කල් 3 10. It is like 50 over 3. Just leave it. ms minus 1. Just leave it. The next part is 15 by 5 over 18. How many 3s are there? 6. How many 3s are there? 5. It is going to be 25 over 6 in ms minus 1 for the spades. Okay. For this distance, it is getting 450 meters of the covering distance. Right. We can use like v square is equals to clear when oh shit, board is malfunctioning. Ready then if I board the body malfunction nakava. Let's regenerate the board again. Oh shit. No. Right. We can write the stuff like v square is equals to u square plus 2as. 25 over 6 to the power 2 is the final velocity. Initial velocity is 50 over 3 to the power 2 plus 2 times a times 450. Now it's going to be 25 over 6 to the power 2 minus 50 over 3 to the power 2 is equals to 900 times a. Let me get the answer. Okay, different thing. 900a. Now let me just solve this out. Now you can do one thing, difference between two square numbers. You know what to do. X square minus y square, you can write it like x plus y times x minus y. Use that technique, otherwise this is going to be really hectic. 25 over 6 plus 50 over 3 times 25 over 6 minus 50 over 3 equals to 900. Oh, may addi hari lazy. Now let's get the common denominator of this one. It is going to be 18. I can get the common denominator as 6, 25, and it's like 100. Okay, I can leave it like here now. And for the next part, it is again 6 and 25 minus 100 now times equals to 900 times A. Let's check. 125 over 6 times minus 75 over 6 equals to 900. 9 into 100 කියලා 9 into 100, it will be easier. So 100, how many 25s are there? 4. How many 25s are there? 5. I can reduce it very low value now. How many 3s are there? 2. How many 3s are there? 15. Sorry, 15, 25. 25. 25. Okay. Now it's going to be 125 over 12 is equals to 936 times A. A is going to be very big answer. Now 125 over 12 times 36. Now I still found what? Retardation. Retardation. You should know one thing, it will travel further because the initial velocity is 25 over 6 to 0. Velocity equals to 0. Now I can just find it out again applying to this equation. Reapplying. What can I do now? I can write it like v square equals to u square plus 2as. 0. Initial velocity is 25 over 6 to the power 2 minus 2 times the value we know. What is the value I got? Minus 125 over 12 times 36 equals to the next distance of A. Right? Displacement is equals to 25 times 25 divided by 6 by 6. You have to divide this by 2 times 125 divided by 12 times 36. මෙහෙම තියන්න හේතුවක් තියෙනවා. බලන්නකො ලස්සනට කැපෙනවා. It is going to be 5 here. Right. This 5 to this 5 cancel off. 25, only 5 remaining now. Now what can I do? මේ හයට මේ හය කැපෙනවා 2යි, මේ දෙකට මේ දෙක කැපිලා යනවා ඉවරයි. මේ හයට මේක කැපෙනවා කීයද? Only 6. That 6 comes up. Displacement equals to 5 times 6. Displacement will be another 30 meters. හරි ලේසි නේද ළමයි? නිකන් හදාගෙන යද්දි දිගයි වගේ වුණාට ඔක තේරුම් ගත්තොත් සෑහෙන වටිනවා. Understand? ඒක තේරුණාද? 31 meter. Oh. හරි නේද ළමයි? හරි. මම පොඩි ප්‍රශ්නයක් අහන්නම්. interval එකක් අරන් එනවද කොහොමද? Do you need an interval or what? interval එකක් එමු නේද? අපි යුටි interval එකක් අරන් එමුද? Round off to decimal means you have tried to divide it. I always telling you don't divide. Just keep those answers. When you try to divide in the final step. अंतिम step पे क्या रहना divide करन try करन एपा. If you try to divide in the middle steps, you will find so much of difficulty. මේ බලන්නකෝ මම මෙතනදී divide කරන්න නැතුව එයාව තියාගත්තේයි කියලා තේරුණාද? I kept this one as undivided. මේක divide කරලා ගත්තා නම් මාර කරුමයක් කණ්ඩ වෙන්නේ. So now when I apply it, see, I can smoothly cancel 5, 25, 5, this 5 just 5, with this 6 only 2, this 2 and 2 cancel off, and again there is another thing here. See, so 6, that 6, 36, 6 remaining. This 6 will immediately jump up to the higher, so 5 times 6 is 30. පාට උනේ ඔපේෂනි අනිවාර්යෙන් ඔයා මෙන්න මේක divide කරා නේද? You divided this and got the answer. ජීවිතේට ඔය වැඩේ කරන්න එපා. Don't ever do it. All the calculations should be done in the final most step. Should never do it in between time. Okay. Right. I am going to start the time for the interval. We are going to have very luxury interval of 10 minutes. Hi, ළමයි. Hi, is that everybody there? හැමෝම ඉන්නවද? A ball is projected vertically upwards from the ground with velocity of 20 ms minus 1. How high will it go? Right. So initially 20 ms minus 1. So you may have already forgotten these things. U upward, V is going to be 0. A is negative G. Height. So definitely it's going to be V square equals to U square plus 2A S. 0 equals to 20 square minus 2 times 10 times H max. So H max is equals to 20 by 20. 20 square ඔහම ලියන්න පුරුදු වෙන්න. 2 times 10. Very easy then. Gone. H equals to 20 meter. Very simple one. How long will it take to reach to the highest point? You can apply V equals to U plus 80. Here is 0 is equals to 20 minus 10 times T. T equals to 20 over 10. This is going to be 2 seconds. Now the next part is when will it return to the ground? Double but we'd better go for real way because the physics V is minus 20. We know that it's definitely the other side. So 20
So minus 10 times total time of t. 10t is equals to 20 plus 20. T is equals to 4 seconds. What is with what velocity will it return to the ground? Okay, no problem. Make a දෙකෙන් වැඩි කරලා දාන්න 4යි කියලා velocity is 20. Right? Okay. The next one 30 70. මේ කොට ඉන්න. ඔයාලට මම කරන්න දුන්නේ නෑනේ. ඉන්ටර්වල් විතරයි නේ තිබුණේ. See. මට අමතක වුණා. I just forgot that we had the interval. කමන්නේ. මේ ඒ විදිය හොඳයිද? Tell me, is that method good? Without letting you do and I explain? ඒකත් නිකන් accidentally වෙච්ච හොඳක් දන්නෙත් නෑනේ. How is that method? Without letting you do, I explain. How about it? Is that better or bad? Ramai. So if I explain without you to do, is that better or bad? Yeah. ඒක තමයි හරිම විදිය. නමුත් ඉතින් ක්ලාසස් වල වෙන්නේ ඔය විදිය. සර් හදනවා අරුම් බලන් කියන. එයාලා ආසයි මොකද ඔළුවට අමාරු නෑනේ. හරි. Okay. Do the next 4 questions 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, Lamai. I hope you tried this one so far. 3 blocks of mass, M1, M2, M3 are connected by a massless string as shown in the frictionless table. They are just pulled by a force T3 that of 40 Newton, M1 10 kilogram, M2 6 and 4. The tension of T2 will be very simple question it is. So altogether the T3 means the whole force, that is the 40 Newton force applying. So F is equals to MA for the whole system. 40 Newton is equals to whole is like 10, 6 and 4 together it is 20 times A. A is equals to 2 ms minus 2. Now T2 is this segment, this whole segment is have to drag by the T2 force. So it is going to be T2 is equals to MA. T2 is equals to 6 plus 4 times acceleration of 2, it is 10 times 2, it is like T2 is 20 Newton itself. Very simple question. Right. Let's go for the very next part here. Three kg ball strikes a heavy rigid wall with 10 ms minus 1 at an angle of 60 degree to get reflected with the same speed at the angle as shown. It's 30. It's 30. Right. P is here. Outward, it is going to be P cos 30. This one is also going to be P cos 30 going there, coming out. And as shown earlier, P sin 30. And this one is also P sin 30. This component cancel off. So delta P is equals to P cos 30. I will consider this one as the positive. I told you to do that way. Otherwise, as the negative minus minus P cos 30. So altogether delta P becomes 2P cos 30. Right. Now the thing is you have to find out the force. Force is equals to delta P over delta T. Delta P is like 2 into P is like MV 3 times 10 times MV cos 60, sorry, cos 30. Cos 30 is going to be root 3 over 2 divided by the value here, it is like 0.2. 10. It's going to be 3 times 100 times root 3 is going to be 1.7 nearly. 3 times 1.7 is like 5.3, 5.4 nearly, because other one is 1.73. 5.4 by 100 is 540 Newton. Did you get this answer? මේ ආන්සර් කවුද ළමයි? කවුද නැද්ද? Now the next thing is, in a rocket of mass 1000 kilogram, fuel is consumed at a rate of 40 kilograms per second. The velocity of the gases ejected from the rocket is this much. The thrust on the rocket. Okay, thrust only. So you don't want to worry about this one to calculate the thrust only to find out the acceleration you may need it. So the mass delta M changed is what? 40 kg s minus 1, and the velocity is a constant one downward. Can you remember I repeatedly say you have to consider about mv over t is the normal thing. I just gave you a specific equation saying that stressfully there is an equation delta m over delta t times v is an equation for force as well. මතකද ළමයි එහෙම එකක් කිව්වා? Can you remember I said something like that when I started the Newton's second law of motion? එහෙම එකක් මතකද? මං Newton's second law එකේ equation 6ක් විතර ලියුවා. Because everybody is just fond of this equation. They only think of F equals to ma. ඒක හැමතිස්සෙම දාන්න බෑ ළමයි. So there is an alternatives. I wrote like almost 6 equations. මතකද ඔහොම එකක් කිව්වා? ඔව්ද නැද්ද? ටග්ගාලා short answer එක දාන්න yes ද no ද කියලා. A level questions පවා මේකෙන් ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා. There were A level questions in the 2003 A level rocket question was from this one. I also practiced with that one with you. ඒක practice කරා මාසෙකට එකමාරකට විතර කලින්. හරිද ළමයි? ඔව්ද නැද්ද කියන්න? මේකෙක්වත් අද කතා කරන්න එන්නේ මොකද වෙලා තියෙන්නේ? ළමයි, hello, are you kind of angry with me or something? මාර ළමයි මෙයාලා. hello ළමයි, don't you hear me at least? මාව ඇහෙන්නේ නැද්ද? මොකක්ද මේ වෙන්නේ? hello, මේ ක්ලාස් එක එහෙම ඩල් කරන්න එපා. ටක් ගාලා ආන්සර් එකක් දාන්න yes no no එච්චරයි. ළමයි මාව ඇහෙන්නේ නැද්ද ඔයාලට? don't you hear me? Oh, after very long years. ඒ කියන්නේ මතක නැහැ එක්කෙනෙක්ටවත් ඔහොම එකක් කරා කියලා. ඒකයි කතන්දරේ, ඇත්ත කතන්දරේ. 40 per 1 second, 40 kilogram per 1 second rate no multiplied by velocity of 5 into 10 to the power 4. ඔච්චරයි ගන්න තියෙන්නේ. 40 kilograms per second. 4 times 5 is 20 and 5 zeros. That means the force is 2 into 10 to the power 6 Newton. හරිද? 2003 ගානම තමයි. The next one. A machine gun mounted on 5 punctual vehicle on a smooth horizontal road. The gun fires 10 bullets per second, each of mass 10 gram with speed of 5 ms minus 1. Acceleration produced in the vehicle. මෙන්න මේක ඕන වෙන්නේ ළමයි acceleration ගන්න. So the machine gun mounted on 5 punctual vehicle on a smooth horizontal road. The gun fires 10 bullets per second of mass 10 grams. So again, you have to find out force, what? Delta P over delta T, the very basic. So that means NMV over delta T. Sometimes we have to find out force in that case as well. So this is the force equation. So we know one thing, force equals to MA. Okay. Right? Right. There is a one mistake I did. So I want to tell you one thing. So here I didn't give you the conversion of this one. ඒක තමයි ලොකුම අවුල මම කරපු quintal to kilogram is 1 q is equals to 100 kg කියන එක මම දීලා නැහැ. ඒක නැතුව ගාන පොඩ්ඩක් හදන්න අමාරුයි යා. ඒක මගේ අතින් වෙච්ච ෂූටි වරදක්. ඒක මේ මොකද සමහර A level වල ප්‍රශ්න වලදී ඔහොම දෙනවා. ඒකේ කන්වර්ෂන් එකක් දෙන්න ඕනේ. එතන මගේ අතින් වෙච්ච ලොකු අවුලක්. So n m v over delta t is equals to, so it is like 5 quintal means 500 capital M. I will take it like a. Now let's find out the acceleration produced on it. Getting the a subjected, a is going to be n times m times v over delta t divided by capital M. So let me substitute the values here. N is how many fired? 10. One bullet has the mass of 10 gram, 10 into 10 to the power minus 3, and the velocity is 500 divided by per second. Per second, 10 bullets per second. Yeah, per second. The time is just 1. So the mass is 500 again. 500 and 500 successfully cancel off with each other. Only minus 1 remaining. 0.1 ms minus 2 is the acceleration. Very simple. Separator centimeter 10. එච්චරයි. ඔන්න එනම් අද දවසේ මේ ටියුට් එකේ කරන අන්තිම ප්‍රශ්න පහ. And in the regular class, this is the last question set that we're going to discuss. ඇහැරිලා ඉන්න කැමති කට්ටියට ගිය සතියේ midweek worksheet එකේ අමාරු ඒවා කරනවා ඊට පස්සේ. හරිද? Regular class will be finished after discussing these 5 questions. මේ පහ කරා regular class එක ඉවර කරා. Okay, 10 minutes for you. Let's try now. You have 10 minutes, very simple questions, but with really good deep concepts. I'm going to turn on the timer quickly. Hello, lamai. A scooter of mass 120 kilogram is moving with the velocity of 108 kilometers per hour. The force required to stop the vehicle is 10 seconds. Okay. 108 multiplied by 5 over 18 is the answer here. How many sixes? Just like 18 sixes and just 18 gone. Sorry, 3 only remaining. And it is going to be 6 times 5. It's going to be like 30 meters per second is the speed. So 120 moving with this much, 10 seconds. So m v minus u over t, that's the thing you have to apply. F is equal to 120 times 0 minus 30 over 10. So cancel off. 3 times 120 is F is going to be equals to minus 360 Newton. Did you get this answer? What am I answer? Yeah, great. 1,000 kilogram lift is supposed to buy a cable that can support 2,000 kilogram. The shortest distance in the lift can be stopped when the descending with 2.5 ms minus 1. descending with 2.5 m minus 1, it is regardless. Why? Make a 2.5 වලින් ascending or descending, it doesn't matter because it is a uniform velocity. For uniform velocity, it can consider as if it was stationary. So, as I told you, the elevator, can you remember I told you like elevator physics? එහෙම එකක් නැහැ. එහෙම එකක් නැහැ. Right? So, it is just going to be the mg. Sorry, shortest distance can stop. So it is a different case. There is a descending. So descending with 2.5, it should have an acceleration downward. So the negative. So it is like it is ascending upward. So the force is tension is equals to mg plus ma. So the thing is you don't know the a. So you can just apply it like this way. When it is descending with 2.5 ms minus 1 to descend, it's like the velocity 0 under some acceleration of minus a downward, and g is there downward. So the distance s, what is the equation? U v as, v square is equals to u square plus 2as. 0 is equals to u square minus 2as. 2as equals to u square. A is equals to, what is it? U square over 2s. Right. මේක තමයි equation එක for the acceleration. Now I have to substitute this into there. So finally my equation is going to be m is a common, g plus a is u square over 2s. Right. Support, yeah, it can support maximum of 2 kilograms. So we know the maximum force. We know the maximum force. What is the maximum force? 2000 Newton. 20,000 Newton is the maximum force. But this one has a limitation now. The thing is 20,000 is equals to m is 10,000 times, sorry, 1,000 times g is 10 plus, here is the final answer, u square over 2s, 2.5 times 2.5 divided by 2 times s, I don't know. Here, when you subtract, it's going to be 19,000 is equals to 10 plus 2.5 by 2.5 over, sorry, this 1,000, wait. So it's not subtraction. This is my bad. Well, it's division. 20 is equals to 10 plus 2.5 by 2.5 divided by 2s. When it is gone, 20 minus 10 equals to 2.5 by 2.5 over 2s. So 10 equals to 2.5 by 2.5 means 6.25. 6.25 by 2 is like 20 equal to s. S equals to 6.25 divided by 20. S will be like yeah. පටගාලා බ්‍රේක් ගහන සීන් එකක් තියෙන්නේ. 0.321. Sorry. ඕක තමයි ළමයි නවත්තන්න පුළුවන් දුර. ඒ කියන්නේ සෙන්ටිමීටර් 31කින් හට ගාලා බ්‍රේක් වදින්න පුළුවන්. ඊට වඩා බ්‍රේක් වැදුනොත් කඩලා යනවා. Can you understand? මේක තේරුම් නැති කවුරු හරි ඉන්නවනම් ඩක් ගාලා මැසේජ් එකක් දාන්න. I will explain you. A block of 5 kilograms is placed on a rough inclined plane. The inclination of the plane gradually increases until the block to begin to slide down. The inclination of the plane is then 3 in 5. Okay, 3 in 5. The coefficient of friction between the block is the plane. Okay. අලුත් පිටුවම් අරන් ඔක් කියලා දෙන්න. 5 kg placed on a rough inclined plane. Inclination of the plane is gradually increased until the block begin to slide. Inclination of the plane is like 3 in 5. So the coefficient of friction between the block and the plane is 5 kilogram. Yeah. You keep 5 kg mass. When you go 5 along here, the inclination will be 3 upon there. So make it ටක් ගාලා පේන්න ඕනේ 4 කියලා. ඇයි? මොකද මේ Pythagoras triplets. Right. The theta. One thing is, this is going to be mg sin theta. And this one is r. This part is mg cos theta. මේවා අමතක වෙලා තියෙනවා නම් ලොකු ප්‍රශ්නයක්. There will be the frictional force. We can assume one thing: the frictional force along here is mu mg cos theta, because r equals to mg cos theta. Mu mg cos theta. Then the downward force is mg sin theta. Right? Now let me just write it like mg sin theta is equals to mu mg cos theta. Now I can cancel off mg and mg from here. So mu is equals to sin theta over cos theta. So it is going to be tan theta right? Tan theta will be, this one is 4, other one is 3. Mu equals to tan theta. 3 over 4. Then what is it? 0.75. හරි නේද? මේක Pythagoras triplet එකක් කියලා ඔලුවට තේරුම් නැත්නම් මේ හතර හොයාගන්න හම්බෙන්නේ නැහැ මෙයාත්. මේක තේරිච්ච අය ඉන්නවා නම් කියන්න ඔව් කියලා, නැත්නම් නෑ කියන්න. ඔයාලගේ responses මම එනකම් බලන් ඉන්නේ නැහැ. මොකද මම කිව්වනේ ගිය සතියේ ඉඳන් මම එහෙම බලන් ඉන්නේ නැහැ. අහනවා ඔයාලා respond කරොත් මම කියනවා, නැත්නම් එහෙමම යනවා. Okay? Right. Okay. Understood. Very good. A body of mass 5 kg initially at rest is moved horizontally along 2 Newton and smooth surface. Find out the work done in 10 seconds. Very simple. So F is equals to 5. So you don't want to worry about whether it is 5 kilogram or whatever. 2 Newton. You drag it for like 10 seconds. So you have to now. Why? The work done is FD. You don't know the D. You don't know D. What to do now? F equals to MA. So 2 is equals to 5A. A is equals to 2 over 5. This 0.4 ms minus 2. So you know the acceleration now. You can find out U equals to 0 and V equals to something. I don't know. But the displacement you can find when the time equals to T. How do it? S equals to UT plus half AT square. U is 0 plus half times 0.4 times 10 to the power 2. What is it going to be now? My displacement is going to be 0.2 times 100 is 20 meters. I know the displacement now. F equals to, sorry, W equals to FD. So F is like 2 now, 2 times 20. The work done is 40 joule. Very simple. Right. The next one. Last one. A bullet of mass 5G strikes a fixed target and penetrates 8 centimeter into it. If the new average resistance offered by the target is like 100 Newton, find the velocity with the target. Okay, bullet mass 10 strikes M, penetrate 8 centimeters into it, 8 cm, and the velocity will be 0 then. If the average resistance offered by this like 100 Newton in the opposite direction is the target. Okay. So you have to find out the force. F should be equals to MA, right? That is the first thing you have to know. F equals to MA. And one thing, we can find out the acceleration here, right? V is 0 and U I don't know, but displacement we know. Displacement we know. Oh shit. Malfunction all right. Displacement is okay. And everything is there. So what can I do? V square equals to U square plus 2AS. 0 equals to U square minus 2AS. So U square is equals to 2AS. So U is equals to 2AS. Right. The thing I want to find out is now the acceleration I can easily find. How? Applying F equals to MA. So A is equals to F over M. Now I can substitute. U is going to be 2F over M times S. Very simple now. Really very simple. What can I do now is U is equals to square root of 2 times F is 100 Newton and the mass is 10 times 10 to the power minus 3, and the displacement here it is 88 centimeters. 8 into 10 to the power minus 2. This minus 2 and this one cancel off, minus 1 remaining. That one and this one cancel off. So there will be like 16 into 100. So root of 16 is 4. Root of 100 is 10. U is just 40 meters per second. හරි නේද? ඒක තේරුම් නැත්තම් නැහැයි කියලා කියන්න කියලා දෙන්න. The different one. හරිද? This belongs to the same question. No, wait. Understood. Very good. It's all is a one question. Right. එච්චරයි. එහෙනම් ඔයාලට අර past paper sorry last week එකේ කරපු ඒවා ටික බලා ගන්න ඕන නම් පොඩි වැම්පයර් පාරක් දාන්න පුළුවන් කැමති අය ඉඳලා. අනිත් අයට ඔහොමම